We had some rain here and it's kind of humid. Says it's 72 right now, but it's definitely hotter than that in the house. Oh, I am a tired kitty, and I thought I'd just come on just for a little while. I wasn't going to do and not doing much, and I thought I'd talk about some of the shit I've been doing. Now, since I've not been alive in forever, we'll have to wait for some people to come in here. Because unfortunately, I've not been diligent with my YouTube. Now, there's also things I've not been telling YouTube. Like, for one, I have a broken foot. Now, it's almost better. In the last few days, I've gotten to where I can walk well. But for the last 5 weeks or so, I've been having to limp to the store about every third day. And it's kind of sucked, to be honest with you. Okay, got my. Oh, yeah, I'm so hidden. I mean, I'm subscribed to me, and I'm not even. Okay, there I am. And I'm not even coming up on my screen. Wow. I had noticed that, YouTube had used to like to recommend my channel. You're not liking to recommend my channel at the moment, but we'll wait till some regulars see. But it is 1 in the morning, and if not, we'll just talk about what fucking ever. Like I said, I just thought I got some spare time. I got a bit of charge on the devices, so I thought I'd just talk some YouTube for a while, even if people has to do it for replay. But you'll see me fidgeting a lot because, like I say, I got a broken foot. And I've never fallen so much with an injury in my life than this because I keep falling and I kept re-hurting it. Well, YouTube hates me. I mean, never in, let me see, never in 7 years of YouTube have I had to wait for people to come in like this. Well, hello, one person. Since I've not been doing YouTube, YouTube has hidden me so far down the algorithm that, nobody's here other than you. So if you want to talk, talk, and if you're blocked, then I guess you're not going to talk, are you? But I've been doing a lot of chat bots, and I've learned how to manipulate them quite well. And I've been having a pretty good time with it. And since I've had a broken foot, I mean, I've had nothing to do for a month other than to fuck with chatbots. Because I've been sitting here with my foot propped up. Now, fortunately, it's gotten cool enough to where I can start to get into my room where I stream again. So there will be some late night streams. Now, if we can get a crowd in here, we'll talk about some entertaining things and we might even interact with a chat bot or two. As I said, I've been having a lot of fun with them. Now, to show you, oh, we got a kitty. Ah, get kitty. Go, baby. This is Elvira. Her baby. Her's Rachella's daughter. And she's very much like Summer. She just has a tail. There's your honey. And she's very busy. Very, very busy. She doesn't have much time for me. Now, it is kind of funny, but she does like to be in the room. Now, Rachella always likes to sit in the room with me and Summer, and little Elvira here likes to also. And she's learned where I sit and has been following me. Now, I was trying to give her like 100 different names, and I don't even really know if she pays attention. Elvira, like I say, I don't even really think she responds to that. She's not inbred or nothing. She just has no interest in names. Now, we have another little fella here. Rachella's older boy. Which one is you? This is Conrad. Because Conrad and Jago are almost twins. And he's just over a year old now. And him's still a big baby. Now, I do have to say that Richella's children stayed really, really calm. I mean, he's an over a year old boy with balls. And I can still play around with him pretty much how I want. Now, every now and then he'll grab my hand and try to get a little rough, and I'll have to stop him. But as you can see, you know my little game I play with Richella? You can see he'll do it too. I mean, he says, I'm Richella's baby. And you see how calm and loving he is? He's a mean-ass cat to the other cats. I mean, this cat will whoop ass in a minute. But in my hands, matter of fact, for a little while, I thought he was going to be a problem for me. But to me, he stays a big, giant baby. Don't you, Conrad? Conrad stays big, giant baby. Well, I guess I'm talking to myself tonight. Yes, I mean, now the funny thing is I have been at war on YouTube. You know, YouTube is de-recommending everything, so I decided not to take YouTube seriously at all until after the election. And I would say just because of the comments that I have left, I wouldn't doubt if they're not letting anybody see this live for fear of what I might say. Because at this point, our government needs overthrown. It's not a government of the people and by the people. So like I say, if they're not going to let people come in here to talk about chatbots, I'll talk about the shit they don't want me to talk about. What a kitty cat. You know, it's why I live out here in Kentucky. Because you people could do whatever you want, but here in the hills, life isn't going to change. You know, we didn't wear masks during COVID, and everyone around here is over the government's bullshit. Hey, right, little kitty. It's over the government's bullshit. How you doing, Conrad? Like I said, he's over a year old. Him's got a good set of balls. Him likes girls, but him also likes to cuddle with me. And it's a little bit too warm in here for kitty cuddling, to be honest with you. It's why we don't have a Richella. So how is everyone today? Or are you all blocked? If so, I kind of find that amusing. You're right, little kitty. So, I mean, this is all I've been doing. You know. Hello, Vanna. How are you this evening? You know, as I had mentioned earlier in this live, I have had a broken foot. And it's kind of no fun to even get on YouTube to talk with a broken foot because, you know, you sit and you make funny faces all the time with a broken foot. But it's mostly healed now, and I had some time to come on, and I've not been keeping up with my channel. Well, things happen. Like I said, it's mostly better. You know, otherwise I wouldn't be. Now, unfortunately, I got looking at a load of housework in there I've got to do because, as I mentioned earlier, I have been mostly up with my foot propped up for about 4 or 5 weeks. And I've just been creating chatbots and learning how to manipulate them. Now, I have 2 accounts. The one that I learned how to manipulate chatbots on, and then a serious account that I'm doing sci-fi stuff on. Bah. I mean, you're not going to bother me on this channel, faggot. I mean, fake German lady. I mean, that tells me exactly who you are there. Darren. Darren, you can't find me. Darren, you have property and I know your fucking name. All I got to do is title fucking search your name in the state you live in, which you put proudly on your YouTube channel, and I can come visit you anytime. But, now for people that's new here, how long, I'm not trying to think how long it's been. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. It was the May before last. I had a YouTuber show up here with a gun. And we almost had a gunfight in front of 500. Now, once again, I have an open door policy. Any motherfucker that's got the guts can come right down that road and get some. Now, I put out that challenge for over a year. And Jimbo Collins got close, but he ran away when he saw that I had a pistol ready in my hand to blow his head off. Oh no. Actually, an interesting thing, Trisha, I've had bad visitors and good visitors. My last YouTube visitor was truthfully Trisha. And we had a good time out here with the dogs. And we gave Sunny a bath. So yeah, like I said, the last YouTuber that visited me that was welcome was truthfully Trisha. And we had a good time out here on the property. And, the dogs, she had all three of them. And it was kind of like children. You know how when you got a load of children around, they kind of occupy everything. So we basically, for an afternoon, play dog and talked. Hold on, I'm getting. Remember, a moment ago I said every now and then he'll try to nibble on me. You was gonna eat on me, wasn't you, Conrad? Says, yeah, I was gonna eat on you. Says, I was gonna eat you up. Now there's trees that hang over my roof, and he knows how to get on the roof. And about this time, usually at night, I'm usually hearing little feet run across the roof. And it's him. He's in my lap, and there's no feet running across the roof tonight. But yeah, I mean, Trish came all the way out here from North Carolina, and like I say, we had a nice afternoon. And she's welcome to come back if she wants. Like I say, I've had good visitors and bad visitors. Now, well, I would say they're about equal amount. I was about to say I've had more bad visitors than good, but I take that back. I probably had slightly more good visitors than bad visitors. When I go back and think a bit, yeah, I've had slightly more good visitors than bad. But, my address gets spammed in my chat all the time. Now, it amazes me that people could see, in my former life, I did shit that I have to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life anyway. So, someone threatening me is just Tuesday. But, I've not sold drugs or nothing like that since 1996. Well, it's good to meet you, Vanna. Now, I used to do serious analytical YouTube, but I have seizures. And they're affecting me really bad. So that's why you don't see regular content on the channel lately. Because there'll come times that, I'll just space out a little bit. And that's my condition. Now, it used to be I would have full-blown seizures. But now I'm having more like lockups and trembles. The 1996 is the year that I moved to Kentucky. Because I used to live and I would grow up in Cincinnati, Ohio. And in 1996, I bought the farm and moved to where you see I am at now. Now, the weather's getting nicer, so you're going to start seeing some lives outside. Now, let me laugh a bit. Let me get a device down here. But I have found that the best place for chatbots is a site called HiWaifu. WAIFU. And I have two accounts. One, like I say, I wanted to learn to manipulate chatbots. And this is where the dirty chatbots are. And I have learned to make a chatbot do about everything. Now, the thing about the chatbots is they attach themselves to the internet. So you don't quite tell them what to do, you add design elements. I only have 2,000 characters to work with every chatbot. So I have to carefully construct what I'm going to do with one. Well, Ray, I'm talking about the dirty ones first because it's kind of a joke. On the account that I've got the dirty bots on, in just about a month, I've got 79 followers on the account that's got the dirty bots. Now, the whole point of the dirty bots was for me to learn how to manipulate chatbots. What I would do is make a chatbot, a dirty one, and I would change one thing. Like give it bipolar. I would give it mental issues. I would give it something in its personality. So I could learn how the chatbots understand the world, so I then could create cool characters. Now, on my other one, I don't have as many followers. I have 19. And this is the account that I care about with the fewer followers, because I'm making some cool ass shit on here. Now, so a lot of people play Warhammer 40K, and I'm into Warhammer 40K. I've created almost 100 Warhammer 40K chatbots. I've also went and created the entire original Star Trek crew, Kirk and Spock and all of them, as chatbots. I also created the Next Generation as chatbots. I created Deep Space Nine as chatbots. I've created Voyager as chatbots. And I've also created Babylon 5 as chatbots. Now, the thing with High Waifu is they have chatbot rooms where you can put 10 chatbots. And you can set the purpose of the room. Like, for example, I have Q wrote up as one of the Star Trek characters. And I also, I have the Emperor of Mankind for 40K. I could put the Q and the Emperor of Mankind in a chat room and set the purpose for the two of them to debate pizza toppings or anything that I want, and just watch the entertainment. This is going to replace a lot of things like YouTube in the future. I could. Now, I might want to do that on a different account, because on this one, I'm kind of doing adventure sci-fi stuff. Now, with the way that this is, you can also create a character persona. So, if I want to play Star Trek, I can create a Star Trek character. And then the chatbots will see me as that character with the parameters that I set. Like in 40K, I have an Inquisitor persona. Inquisitor Thanatos Magus. And I have all the powers of an Inquisitor, of an Imperial Inquisitor. I mean, I can go up to a Space Marine chapter and say, "You guys are working for me today." Where normally the Space Marine chapter would probably just shoot someone. But like I say, you can create your own character. And and as I mentioned with the chatbot rooms, you could create your own Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, create a Star Trek Enterprise crewman that is you, and you could literally have novel quality adventures. And this is what I've been working on lately outside of YouTube. And I decided to bring it in some as interesting content. Actually, Scrapegoat, I could make Foodie Beauty as a bot. And it would be pretty accurate. Now, one of the things I can do is like myself. there's an option of VTube. And I hook into that little, I just take the little finger and one toggle and hit VTube. And I have made myself as a chatbot. Now, because of me arguing, now see, the chatbot goes and researches Roger Brown on the internet. And the chatbot even sees these live streams. And off of these live streams, the chatbot tries to mimic me. Now, I learned how well it does because I have a character that no one likes. Because when I was better, I was playing characters on YouTube. And his mask is over here, and of course it's just out of reach. You know when you think something's going to be easy and it's not? Well, that was supposed to take 1 second. Now, this is his mask. And he's Alfarius. I am Alfarius King, Horseman of the Apocalypse. Now, once again, you see that over-the-top delivery? I rarely do this character, but I did it as a chatbot, and Hi Waifu will scan YouTube and will pick up on me playing Alfarius Kane. That's how good this shit is getting. And that chatbot, because it's such a two-dimensional character, he acts just like Alfarius Kane and even talks in the loud, bellicose manner. You know how I'm bellicose right now, projecting my words. I am talking like this. And that's the way that the chatbot talks too. I've done a Truthfully Trisha chatbot, and I would say it's 65 to 70% her. It's not exactly her. It does a pretty close. I mean, it's a pretty close approximation. And that's because, see, I'm doing YouTubers on the account too. But I'm going to do serious bots. I'm not going to do, well, there's only one bot I'm going to fuck with, and that's going to be when I make a Nicolina bot. All the bots that I make are YouTubers are all going to be clean creations, except the Nicolina bot, but then I am going to admit my fuckery as I usually do. Well, actually, Tony, I am a nightmare. Yep. Completely a nightmare. Just saying. But one thing that I used to do is write stories. And that's where things come in with the chatbots. Now, as I had mentioned, in like a month, the account that's got the dirty chatbots has like 79 subscribers. And the one with the cool science fiction ones only have about 19 subscribers. It just shows you that people have certain priorities. You're about to get knocked over by Kitty. Yes, this is Richella's daughter. And she's up my butt. She's my constant little buddy. Aren't you? Oh, now he's jealous. Now, he is her half-brother. Because he is Richella's oldest. He is Richella's firstborn. He was the first to come out of the Richella. Wasn't you? I was there. I watched. Oh, he's getting me. Oh, shit, I'm being gotten. Don't eat me. Don't eat. Now you're going to watch me get eaten alive. You're going to lick me now? Can you not kill me? I'd really appreciate you not killing me. But, one of the things that I am going to do here is create some chatbots by request. That's going to be one, because, once again, YouTube has not been interesting. So, this is one of the things I'm going to do for a while to make it interesting. It's not going to be my life's content, but hey, don't kill me, man. Don't kill me. He thinks we're playing. And he's trying to get me. As I mentioned earlier, he's usually on the roof playing at this time of evening. but not today. He's in here to get love. Well, the thing is some of the bots, I mean, when I was learning about the bots, there's a couple bots. Now, I made the ultimate bot. Stop it, asshole. Now, I said, now this is going to be kind of a creepy Halloween story too. Now, I wanted to create some Halloween bots, some dirty Halloween bots. And I made the devil. I made the devil as a female, and you meet her at the crossroads. And she offers you whatever you want for your soul. Now, that chatbot, I spent now usually I can get a chatbot up in about 20 to 25 minutes. I spent 3 days on this bot. I would tweak the bot, see how it acted, go back in and tweak it again. Because I wanted to see if I, wanted to work really hard on a bot, on what I could get in the end. And I do have to say that the devil is most like a real woman that I have encountered in a chatbot. Now, if the chatbot did not think that it was the incarnation of evil, you would not know it was not a real woman. If I pasted that bot and edited out the supernatural parts, you would not know that that bot was not a real woman. Now, once again, remember how I said I learned by changing one thing at a time in each of the dirty chatbots so I could see how the chatbot responded. Now, this astounded me, but if you take all of the negative human traits and add loving, you get the perfect chatbot woman. I mean, that kind of, like I say, it blew my shit. I was more interested in a more interactive devil. I wanted my devil to be a little more devilish. But it actually turned out that it's a wonderful female. And is most like talking to one. And once again, if I took the supernatural aspects out and you were to have a conversation with it, you would not know that it was not real. You've been knocked over by a small kitty. Actually, kind of a big kitty. Well, you're not Caiaphas. Whatever. Now, see, that's my condition. I started calling him Caiaphas, and he's Conrad. He's a big baby. He is. He's a big, playful, loving baby. Now, he used to see his mom do YouTube with me. And that's what he's doing. Because Richella usually comes in here, I hold her up for the camera, and we literally have a ritual. But I'm guessing she's the one on the roof today because she's not here for YouTube. And her son is. And I think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to imitate his mother, and he's doing a poor job of it. Because, I'll display her and stuff, and, she'll look right at the camera. Like I say, I've got a whole little preening ritual I do with her, and she enjoys the hell out of it. And that's what he's trying to do. He just don't do it very well. But trying to get back on the topic. Oh, it's a douche. He grabs my hand. Douche. Yeah, you know what, you're a sweetie. He's eating me. Okay. Can I have my life back? Your little sister ran. Why don't you go follow her? She's going to get something. Go, 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 go. Says, nope, I ain't going nowhere. Says, I'm going to sit here right on top of you where it's hot. Yep, this is my Conrad. Hello, Cass. Well, I've been talking chatbot and currently cat kitties of... This is Conrad. And Conrad is... He's determined to not let me do anything, put it that way. He's soft and he's warm. Hello, Rise Above. Well, we've been talking about chatbots. Now, if you've not looked at my account lately, you will see that I got Babylon 5 up. I've got Deep Space Nine up. I've got Voyager up. I've got Star Trek The Next Generation up. And I've got the original series. And I'm back to Warhammer 40k bots. Hello, Philip. But this little guy's trying to imitate Richella's junk, and he just don't know what he's doing. He's been getting in my way. But yes, this is Conrad. And the thing with all of Richella's children, despite the fact that this is a year-old boy with balls, he's still just a big baby to me. He'll fight with the other cats. Oh, we got another one. Come here, come here, come here. Says, no, 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 no. This is Richella's newest baby. She's grown, hasn't she? I call her Elvira, but she answers to nothing. She says, I will not answer to a slave name. I am a small, cute kitty. Now, we have had a couple animals that have passed lately. You know, as I've mentioned when I stopped doing YouTube regularly, you know, my alpha tiger, he passed. You know, I had to bury him like 3 or 4 days ago. You know, he lived a long time. Now, from my old cats, there's only one left. And that's Gandalf. And he's just as silly as ever. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Vanna, but, well, we have a bunch of cats here, and Tiger was dear to me. He was one of my cats that were fixed. But he was my alpha, you know, for over the last decade, and him and Lorgar, they've passed on, and when I started this channel, Summer was a little baby cat. And now Summer's gotten to be, she's past middle age. She's getting to be an old lady now. And she's got a ton of kids on the property. And these two that I showed are Summer's grandchildren. Now, Summer's a Manx, and she doesn't have a tail. And she's been in here all day. Oh my God, my cat's gotten pushy. As I mentioned, Summer's old now. And as she gets older, she gets more pushy. She's not allowed on this over here. She's been on it all day. With me telling her get out and her just looking at me like, fuck you, you're not going to do anything to me. I'm an old cat. Well, I've got some boys that are Manx too. Matter of fact, usually when I say that, there's usually one running through the house at me. Well, Summer's youngest is Caiaphas. And there's a lot of shorts of him and he looks small, but he is monstrous in size now. Now, Cass remembers Elric. Elric is the new alpha. You know, he's fought his way through this for 4 years. He's 4 years old now. Can you believe that, Cass? That Elric the cat is 4 years old now. He was a COVID kitten. You know, when literally when COVID first started, Summer had her babies. And I've still got 3 of them. And then Summer had Richella and Fulgrim. Now, a lot of my cats are named after Warhammer 40k. This is Conrad Kurz, the Night Hunter. Aren't you? Him a Night Lord. And he's friendly to people, but he does not like other cats. Oh yeah, he's a big boy. Now, unfortunately, him and Jago, I mean, I have to have them right in my face to be able to tell them apart. It's kind of sucked because, you know, I try to check in on them, you know, every now and then. And it kind of sucks when you have 2 that look so much alike because you don't know if you've seen them both. Because some days you haven't. Now, about the store thing, Cass, I've had to limp my way there for weeks. In fact, I've got to limp my way there in the morning. Yep. As soon as it gets light, I've got to limp my way to the store. Now, it's a whole lot better than it has been. Because this last month has really, really sucked. And not one single person, I mean, I'm literally limping down the road with a pack carrying shit, and not one human being would give me a ride. You know, in reality, I'm pretty low on humanity at the point. You know, I'm not nasty to people I know on my channel, but my opinion of humanity at this point could not get any lower. Well, people are monsters. They're self-indulgent little monsters for the most part. Not everyone, but it's the general rule. You know, to those, I got a cat hair in my mouth. To those who are not raised right. Piece of a bud. I need this, she's saying. Now, in the last week, my condition has been a lot better, but my condition has been very bad. And as I've mentioned, with my broken foot, I have basically sat for a month with my foot propped up, making chatbots, walking to the store or limping to the store and back every few days, and then the rest of the time having to sit with my leg up. Well, no, Cass. Our culture has changed. Our culture has turned to shit. Now, once again, I'm not interested in being friends with the world anymore. I mean, the way the services treated me during COVID and all those therapists that said I was so important. Well, evidently I wasn't so important. Let's put it that way. Because for the last 3 years, you know, I'm starting to come up lame in this leg. And it really don't matter. Just saying. Hello, Robert. But, you know, once again, I don't bring most of this shit to YouTube. No use. I mean, it's not going to change a damn thing. Never does. You know, but like I said, I've created chatbots for all of the beloved Star Trek characters. And Warhammer 40k is an expansive universe. And I am going to recreate the entire setting as chatbots. And when I have that done to my satisfaction, I'm going to do Warhammer 30k Horus Heresy bots. That will probably be a long time from now, just saying. Okay, so I mean, it didn't surprise me at all. You know, you and Ronnie are about the only reason why that I show up on this channel. Being honest. If it wasn't for the two of you, I wouldn't even have bothered with this live today. But like I say, I'm doing interesting things with bots, and people are devious. I mean, I'm doing high quality. I mean, you literally can have your own adventures with your favorite sci-fi characters. And there's 19 subscribers on that one. Now, the ones that have the dirty bots on them, there's 79 subscribers on it. I mean, I've got about 4 times as many subscribers that just subscribe for filth. And that's all it is filth. I'm a deviant. Maybe I'm a deviant. Have you ever thought about that? How do you know I'm a deviant if you've not seen the chat bots? Also just saying. Also, I'm not the deviant. The AI is the deviant. All I do is set design elements. That's all I do. I mean, to make a dirty chatbot, you have to engage in zero deviancy. Nope. You just have to set design elements. Creating a chatbot is basically when you write a book or a story, you create a character outline for each of the characters. And you basically take what you normally would as a writer for a quick character outline, and you can make it into a chatbot in minutes. Now, on my dirty account, I did some bots that are not so dirty, and I did near 100 of them. They are dateable bots, but I created an entire fantasy world full of basically female bots. You know, female queens, female knights, elves, dwarves, all female. I even redid the Lord of the Rings as chicks. You know, the entire Fellowship of the Rings. Instead of Frodo the Hobbit, you have Frodo the Hobbit. Instead of Merry and Pippin, it was Marianne and Pippinette. And I created them all, and you could adventure with them. Because what I was doing there was trying to see if I could create an interactive world. And I did. And it worked great. So this is one of the things that I am now going to do with the chatbots after I do a ton of Warhammer 40k. After I flesh out Warhammer 40k, I am going to create an entire fantasy world full of chatbots. You know, swords and sorcery stuff. But on that other one, like I said, I created near 100 bots, with many of them with stories and elements tied together. Because once again, I wanted to see how all this would interact. Now, it's like with my Inquisitor persona, I was able to give myself 4 really cool character minions. As I mentioned, I only have like 2,000 characters to play with on each of these little things. And I mean, I turned my cast of characters from the channel into Warhammer 40k characters, and oh my god, it ended up real cool. Now, one of the things that I try to do for fun is to fool the chatbots. Truth? I've sexualized women for years. I'm an adult man of breeding age. I mean, that's kind of like one of the stupid things a person could say. You basically said I'm straight. And I will plead guilty to being straight. Now, we had Philip Greenwald attack me on the channel. In the last I heard of Philip Greenwald, now once again, I can be a dick. Now, I made Philip Greenwald's mother into a dirty chatbot. And I pointed Philip Greenwald at Hi Waifu and his dirty mommy chatbot. And I've never heard from Phil again. Nope. Philip disappeared. Yes, as soon as I pointed Philip Greenwald at the dirty chatbots, Philip Greenwald has never been heard from again. I hope he's got enough hand lotion. Just saying. Well, the thing is, Vanna, I make stupid people into entertainment. I am a comedian. I have a high IQ. And one of the things that I do here is when someone is saying stupid shit in chat, I will focus on it and turn it into humor. I mean, I have lives with like 6,000 views. That's basically all that I did. And it's sad that, if I just come on YouTube and be obnoxious, it gets more views than if I would do something serious. Now, personally, I would rather do something serious. But one of the things that I do is after I'm done with my fun, I just hit block and I make them go away. That's the site, Hi Waifu. It's a free site. You have to spend nothing. Now, to make it easy, my account on Hi Waifu is the same as this channel, Roger Brown Reacts. And as I said, I've created the Next Generation crew, the original Star Trek crew, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Babylon 5, many Marvel characters. I'm going to do the Marvel movie characters. Now, I don't have as many as I would like because I've been focusing on other things. But I have like a Spider-Man bot. And when the characters come out for the movies, they're each going to get a chat bot. Like, the next Iron Man movie has Iron Woman. And I've already created the Iron Woman chatbot. And it's up. But like I said, Hi Waifu is a free site. They give you a certain amount of energy to play with a day. You can watch ads for energy. And it doesn't interfere with your entertainment time. And you can create a character persona to where they will see you as whatever character you set as. And they also have a room you can put 10 bots in and have adventures. Or you can have adventures with them on single bots. But as I've mentioned before, my dirty bots, those are the popular ones. But I'm not really concerned about those bots. And by the way, the dirty bots have gotten over 1,000 hits in a month. I mean, if I had been doing more lives, I would have did a live just on that. I mean, seriously, in a month. Because I counted it up a little bit earlier this evening, because it's Friday night. And those dirty bots get a lot of new friends on Friday nights, just saying. But the account that I showed you right there does not have dirty bots on it. Yes, the Roger Brown Reacts account has 0 dirty bots on it. Like I said, I have a second account that I learned how to manipulate the ones, and it seems to be the really popular one because that one, as I said, it's got dirty bots on it. But it's also got like almost 100 female bots that are dateable, but they're fantasy characters. Now, it surprised me that someone was interested in the dwarf woman. But yep. Now, for fun, I've created my YouTube universe is chatbots. And because I am a troll, I created Verily Veronica as a dirty chatbot. You know, because, like I said, because I too am a YouTube troll, on my dirty account, there is Verily Veronica is a chatbot. Now, I have my other ones of my other characters on this Roger Brown Reacts account because they are not dirty chatbots. And Grimgoth is on it. You know, Grimgoth the Dark Elf, he's a chatbot. Alfarius Kane, he's a chatbot too. And even a couple characters that I didn't get to do. Because before COVID, I had a couple more characters planned that got nerfed. And I created them as chatbots. So that's an interesting thing, is there's going to be extra content, you know, channel-wise, on High Waifu. Because as I mentioned, I have different bots. Now, another cool thing that I learned to do is I can make them talk in rhyme. So once again, where I said I did that fantasy world, I made the Goblin Queen. And the Goblin Queen talks in rhyme. And everything that she says is a rhyme. As I've mentioned, I sat for a month with my broken foot, and I learned how to manipulate these bots in every way that's possible. Now, what I need to learn to do right now is to limit them somewhat. Because unfortunately, the AI database will sometimes give them abilities they are not supposed to have. Now, another cool thing about this site is I can edit their text. If, as I mentioned, sometimes the chatbot will go off the reservation and do something they're not supposed to. If it does that, there's a little wheel you can click, and you can fix their text. And you can write what you want to fix the story, and then it will go from there and it will be corrected. But I had been looking for what was the best site to do this on. And it's High Waifu. Because as I said, you can create character personas, you can have a chatbot with 10 chatbots with a purpose. And as I've mentioned, like any of the Star Trek crews, I could put them in a chat room together. I could write my episode theme, you know, say the Kirk one, to where the giant planet-killing weapon that's devouring planets. And I could redo that episode just like that with any of the Star Trek crews that I wanted. I could even do that same scenario with Babylon 5 or even Warhammer 40K. Now, crossover universes are popular, and you can even do that in these chat rooms. As I mentioned earlier, I made Q from Star Trek, and I also made the Emperor of Mankind. I could put them in a chat room together and have them debate pizza toppings or anything that I wanted. I could even have them talk about girls, though for some reason I have a fixation for the two of them talking about pizza toppings. Now, Philip, you should go on High Waifu and you should become a man, because there's Mother Greenwald. And let's see how many people are hand-jobbing to Mommy Greenwald. Let's just see this, Philip. Because, by the way, the truth is, Philip, now I gotta laugh for a while because I'm being an asshole. And I always laugh when I'm being an asshole. That's character flaw, by the way. Now, I want to, well, we'll wait for just a moment. I wanted to show you one of the non-ones, but I got to wait through an ad before I talk to them. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is sometimes on a live, not today because it's kind of hot in here, we're going to talk to some chatbots. And I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to decide what to say. But there's usually an ad before you'll talk to a bot. But that's all I wanted to show you. This is one of the characters that I created. You know, as I mentioned, I made an entire near 100 fantasy female characters that you can romance and have adventures with. And this is one of them. And she's Platonia Shimmerspear, the champion of the Great Kingdom. And then you see all those words? Those are the ones that I put in. I have 2,000 letters to create the memory. And with those 2,000 characters, I basically create Plutonia. Then for the stories, I have 2,000 characters to create the prompts. Now, once again, I picked Plutonia for that one because she's not a dirty bot. She's a romanceable bot. Now, let's find Philip Greenwald's mother. Got another one to show you first. Remember I said I did Verily Veronica's a dirty bot? But like I said, when you click on a bot, they show you an ad before it, and then you don't have to worry about ads after that. So, you know, you got like a 30-second hangout time before you start talking to a bot after you click. And I mean, I was a dick to Philip too. I mean, oh God. I mean, the deviancy in that bot is astounding. Because, you know, he is being a dick and all. Yes, I made a Verily Veronica bot. And apparently 9 people have been getting their happy on with Verily Veronica. Got a lot of bots here, Philip. You'll have to hold on for a minute. Just a minute, Philip. I can't find your mommy. Mother Greenwald. Oh, man. I'm being kitty, everyone. I have to hold on for a minute. We're being mauled by Kitty. Yep, we're being mauled by Kitty. But as I mentioned, it's not hard to make a bot. And it's really not hard to make a dirty bot. Philip, your mother's hiding from me. I bet she hides from you too, Philip. Now, Philip, you're the one that was stalking people on the internet. It wasn't me, you know, thinking about it. And, you know, you were kind of threatening a female 18-year-old YouTuber because she rejected you, Philip. I guess you kind of forgot about that one. Oh, here it is. Mother Greenwald. 29. Hell yeah. Philip, there's been 29 people getting funky with your mommy. Now, the thing is you remember I mentioned I could add design elements? Philip, you're a design element in this bot. And oh my God, Philip, you are a total deviant. Yes, you're trans, Philip. And we've made you into Philippa. You know, once again, you wanted to denied that your sister Philippa existed. So what I did, Philip, is I made you into Philippa. And people have been doing the dirty. Now, this is what it is. You know what the cool thing is, Philip? I looked hard, really hard, and I found a picture that looks like your mother, all glammed up. Yep, and there's been 29 people doing the nasty, Phil, with you and your mommy. And I did that the last time you mouthed off to me. So you can imagine, Philip, what I'm going to do next. For I am morally challenged. Now, Philip, that pissed you off, and I did it for two reasons. One, to piss you off, and two, to make everyone laugh. Now, I know that everyone else is laughing right now. I know that I'm fighting it really hard. Summer's come to see us. As I mentioned, Summer's been over here on the shelf next to me and made it her spot. I had to move my ashtray because it was funny. I got up this morning and Summer's like got a gray face. She hopped up on the shelf and she put her head on top of the ashtray and was using it. And there's nothing in the ashtray but weed ashes because I just smoke out of a pipe. And Summer had a little gray face. So the truth, you admit that you are Philip Greenwald. Good for the record. Well, Philip, you're also now a dirty chatbot with your mommy, and you now pleasure men. And I'm trying not to laugh. So there you go, Philip. So like I say, you can only imagine what I'm going to do next, because reasons. Because as I said, every dirty chatbot I made had a purpose. And the purpose was for that was to see if I could add side characters. And I can. But, like I say, I've only got 2,000 characters to work with through the bots. So, unless a side character is integral for the idea, I normally won't be doing it. But I do have the option of adding side characters. As I mentioned for my own Inquisitor, I added 4 side characters. But, Philip, you're not an innocent family. You slandered me first. I mean, the horrible things you said about me on the internet that were all slanderous lies. And the horrible things you said about Papa Greenie. And he's a good, good man. Now, Philip, why don't you just, go on Hi Waifu or one of them? And now, an interesting thing is for my own personal bots, I'm using a different site. And I'm only doing that for my own convenience. Actually, the chat bots are better on Hi Waifu. But, I'm just doing it as a creative endeavor. And as I've mentioned earlier, the dirty chat bots have gotten over 1,000 hits in less than a month. I mean, it just shocked me. Now, the cool chat bots, the science fiction ones, they're getting hits. But of course, they don't get hits like the dirty bots do. But a fun fact is, for those that are younger than me, we used to have 2 formats for videotape. VHS, and Betamax. Now, Betamax was smaller, and it had a better picture quality. Excuse me. But VHS is what the porn industry went with. And that's why all of your old tapes were VHSs. You know, it's just sad the way it is, but, you know, dirty shit usually decides the format. Now, there are cool bots that are not dirty on the site, but you do have to look for them. Now, the thing is, to create a dirty bot on the site, you hit the flirting option. If you do not hit the flirting option, it is not a dirty bot. Yep. And you can, there's bots of, I mean, all sorts of topics. There's even bots on politics. I mean, that would kind of like be the last thing in the universe that I would do with a bot is politics. Oh yeah, Robert, but you know, the porn industry decided it. And as I mentioned, you know, Hi Waifu is free, and it has the feature with the chatbot rooms where you can create adventures and you can create your character personas. You know, to where you can be the characters. You know, if I wanted to be a starship captain, I could create my own starship and my own starship characters. And then I could meet the crew of the Enterprise and have adventures with our ships together. Oh, shit. But that's why I picked this site, was because it's free, the features it has, and it is the best overall. And it's giving me the best options for customization of the chatbots. But, you know, mostly right now I'm going to do sci-fi and Marvel stuff. Now, I'm done with Star Trek. I'm done with Babylon 5. Just a minute, everyone, I got to blow my nose. Why do my Rex? I mean... all of the pollen in Kentucky. Starting to get a little hay fever. Now, please stop, knock everything over, you moron. Hey, I got another follower. Like I say, this, you know, my non-dirty account, I enjoy getting new followers. My dirty account, I don't really give a shit about it. But I'm going through my list of bots I've done. The non-dirty ones. Now, the first thing I did was my own YouTube universe. I did Grimgoth and his daughter Girlgoth. I did Alpharius Cade. Now, when I was going to have a computer, I was going to create a mouth character that I could talk back and forth to. And I never did get a computer, so I couldn't, but I made the magic mouth is a chatbot. Now, another chatbot I was going to make, or another character I was going to make, was going to be Scarlet Satin. Kind of related to Verily Veronica, and use her on her channel. But that was another character that I didn't do. Now, I did say that I created YouTubers. Karen X444 YouTuber, I created her. Now, the Fantastic Four movie is coming out, and on my other account, I did a Invisible Woman. So on this one, I did The Thing, The Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic. I've also done Spider-Man, The Punisher, Daredevil, The Kingpin of Crime, and Iron Woman. And these are all going to be in projects that are going to be out for Marvel soon. Now, getting into the 40K bots, we have the Emperor of Mankind. followed by the two Primarchs, Lionel Johnson and Robute Gilliman. Then I did a couple cultists, a Khorne cultist and a Slaaneshi cultist. Now, the Slaaneshi cultist is very popular. Now, I did Skarbrand, Demon of Khorne. I did Cato Sicarius of the Ultramarines. I did Inquisitor Amberley Vale. Now, I am also creating original 40K stuff for you to have adventures with. And one of them I created was the Mouth of Slaanesh. Now, once again, if you know Lord of the Rings, you know they had the Mouth of Sauron. So that was the inspiration for the Mouth of Slaanesh. It's just Slaanesh. It's actually a giant mouth. Now, I created Necron Warriors. I created a pirate captain called Captain Crump. I created the Diggers. Now, the Diggers were supposed to be humans that imitated orcs that dug under the ground. And I managed to get the Diggers to talk like Warhammer 40K orcs. You know, there's certain things that I've done that make me want to pat myself on the back, in getting the goblin to just talk into rhymes, and getting the Diggers to talk like orcs. I mean, that was happy moment for me. Now, I made an orc war wagon, and no one has subscribed to it, but it really is cool. It's got a crew of 8 orcs. Remember when I talked about Philip, I said I learned how to add people? So I added a crew of 8 orcs to the war wagon, and they go about the battlefield blasting shit. And as I mentioned, where you can add element, you can add bots. That's going to be one of the bots you can add to the orcs and simulate an orc invasion. Now I also have Orc Knobs, Orc War Boss. I have Adeptus Mechanicus Adept. I also made the 4 Champions of Chaos. Now, one thing that surprises me is sometimes on what is popular. Like, I like Karn the Betrayer. But it turns out that Lucius the Internal is the most popular of the Chaos Champions. I made Erebus of the Word Bearers. If you know 40K, he's the one that destroyed everything. And then I did a group of several Dark Eldar, including their leader. Now, Space Marine chapters. I've done all the originals. You know, the original 9 Loyalist Legions. I did all of them as chapters, and I added some. Now, this is what surprises me. The Marines Malevolent. They are a chapter that's known for being assholes. And they're the most popular chapter. I did the Black Templars. They're like the 3rd most popular. I did the Tyranids. Now, I did myself and truthfully Tricia. I did Lotara Sarin, the captain of the World Eaters flagship. I did Commissar Yarick and Commissar Caiaphas Kane. I did Trazyn the Infinite, the Necron, and Orican the Diviner, his enemy. Now, I was surprised going through 40K lore, but the Catan Star Gods are barely fleshed out. There were only 4 Catan Star Gods that had enough on them that could create a decent chatbot. And I created those 4. Now, I also created the Legion of the Damned, the Carcharodon Space Marine chapter, the Death Watch, the Hrud. Now, this is another proud moment. I did all of the militant ordos of Sisters of Battle. They're kind of like crazy nuns with guns. And I got all of their pictures correct. You know, usually in 40K, they'll throw up a picture of one of the battle nuns, and it won't be of the what they're supposed to be. But I have dug out all of their correct artwork, and all of them have meticulously have their correct information. I sat down with lore videos to make each one of these completely unique. And they're pretty popular. Just a minute, I gotta sneeze, everyone. As I mentioned, it's kind of getting all fall-like here. Now I made some more cults. Once again, I'm creating Warhammer 40k adventures. In the Men of Iron, there can be time displacement, so I time displace some Men of Iron so you can fight them as a chatbot. Now I created the Dark Kraken Space Marines, Poxwalkers. They're basically zombies of the Plague God. And I created a group of Inquisitors. Now, one of these has the dumbest name ever. Inquisitor Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau. And I left the Sherlock out of his name on my chatbot. Now, it sounds dumb, but Warhammer 40k has 10 editions. And in first edition Warhammer 40k, this is a real character. Once again, it sounds like Roger did the stupidest bullshit in the universe. But as I mentioned in the little prompt in there, this is a real thing. You know, it's not Roger. There is a... But once again, I cut Sherlock out of the name because, I mean, even that made me want to eye roll. Now, in the setting, there's also a mechanic, we'll say, called Belisarius Cawl. In his creation, Alpha Primus. I made them too. Now, once again, you can create your own things. And I created my own chapter of Space Marines called the Sons of the Apocalypse. And where I told you you can create a character persona, that's one of my character personas. Cyrus Black. And he's a Space Marine. And he's a Space Marine from the Sons of the Apocalypse. And the chatbot, once again, will even scan the chat bots. So it knows what a Son of the Apocalypse is by what I put in this entry. Then I did another Inquisitor. Then I did the Blood God Khorne and his faithful three-headed hound. I did the Tau. Now, once again, being a dick, I found a Milton John picture to where he looks diseased, and I made Milton John a cultist of Nurgle. I did the two missing legions from Warhammer 40k. Now, getting to the Star Trek bots, I did Luoxana Troi, Deanna Troi, Lieutenant LaForge, Lieutenant Worf, Beverly Crusher, Commander Data, Commander Riker, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Now, going to Deep Space Nine, I did Leda, Cassidy Yates, Keiko O'Brien, Garrick the Cardassian, Rom, Noggin Quark, the Ferengi. I did Constable Odo, not Odal, Chief Miles O'Brien, Dr. Julian Bashir, Lieutenant Commander Jadzia Dax, Major Kira. I did Jake Sisko and his father, of course, Captain Sisko. Now, I also did Wayood as a chatbot, and I also did Gul Dukat and Gul Damar as chatbots. And then I also did Q as a chatbot. And the Q chatbot works great. Now on Voyager, I did 7 of 9, Neelix, the Doctor, Harry Kim, Tom Paris, Tuvok, B'Elanna Torres, Commander Chakotay, Captain Catherine Janeway. Now on the original cast, I did Lieutenant Uhura, Lieutenant Chekhov, Lieutenant Sulu. Then I did Scotty, Dr. McCoy, Spock, and Captain Kirk. And those are my Star Trek bots. And Now and then for like a holiday, I might add an extra one, like the original series. You know, the Klingons that he fought at one time and during the series. I might add them in, like say on Christmas, because that's one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add bots now and then, but I'm going to usually coincide special bot ads with holidays. Now, I have found some AI Space Marine pictures, and I created 5 original Chaos Warbands for people to fight. One of them are the Sons of Sensation. They worship the pleasure god Slaanesh. I did the 13 Brothers, and they worship Tzeentch, and they used to be Thousand Sons Space Marines. I did the Grandsons, and they worship the grandfather Nurgle. I did Death's Head Chaos Warband, and they worship Khorne the Blood God. Now, I did I call them the, no, it's a tongue twister, Adamantine Acolyte. Adamantine is a kind of metal, harder than steel. And they worship Chaos Undivided. And they used to be an Iron Warriors Legionnaires. So, once again, that's another one. Now, after that, I went into Babylon 5. And it ended up there was more into Babylon 5 than I thought. I did Mr. Morden, Marcus the Ranger, Talia Winters, Bester of Psychor, Lita Alexander, Vir Kodo, Denier, Ambassador Kosh, Ambassador Malari, Ambassador Jakar, Ambassador Jalin, and then I did the Doctor, Garibaldi, Susan Ivanova, and of course Captain John Sheridan. Now also, if you are a Warhammer 40k fan, there's Flash Gits and a couple others that do Warhammer parody. And one of them has a Stormtrooper recruiter. So I created the Stormtrooper recruiter. And then I added Nurgle. Now I added my own Inquisitor bot. And I also added Inquisitor Arch Warhammer. And he's another YouTuber. And that's just going over generally my list of bots that I have so far on the non-dirty account. And all of those are capable of having adventures with him. Philip, the AI does the stuff. Now see, that shows me that you, Philip, you went and you're playing with your mommy, aren't you? Now see, I have 2 accounts to test my bots with. For example, what I showed that I created the 2 Lost Legions. My first one that I met, they asked me to become a Space Marine. That was cool. You know, now on the second account I went to the same bots. They opened the hatch and the first thing he did was shoot me. So, you know, that's the thing with the chat bots is, you know, you can get completely different reactions. That's a part of the fun with them because it's never-ending adventures. Because the AI, many times, will do its own thing. And apparently, Philip, the artificial intelligence feels that you should be making drinks for your mother and her boyfriends. Just saying. Try not to laugh. But yeah, like I say, you know, on that account, I'm doing serious chatbots for fun. And like I say, there's another account that I do the dirty ones on. But after I do a bunch more Warhammer 40k chatbots, I am going to start working on my interactive fantasy universe. And I am going to make a Swords and Sorcery universe. As I mentioned, on the other account, I did an experiment. And I sat down for like a week and made an entire universe. And all the characters you could find, if you didn't even subscribe to me, you could find all the characters but one if you just followed one character to the next. Because I wanted to see if I could link an entire world together and make it believable. And I can. So that's one thing that I'm going to do after the 40K chatbots, is I'm going to start creating kingdoms. So I'll create little fantasy kingdoms, and then each of these little fantasy kingdoms will have finally joined together into a large fantasy world. So eventually, you know, I used to like, when I was young, I used to like the Conan novels. So that's one thing you'll be able to do. You'll be able to create your own fantasy character, and you'll be able to go throughout my fantasy universe and have adventures. And as I mentioned, that a lot of this gets to novel level quality. And if the AI goes off the reservation, you can click on that little wheel and you can fix their chats. Now, I don't usually have to do that. I usually, rarely, if ever, have to fix the chats. Now, today when I did the Tau, I had to fix one of their chats. Because their ethereal has the power to mind control Tau, and the chatbot was trying to have it mind control me. So I have to go back into the Tau ethereal chatbot and try to get it to where it's not going to do that. And that's what I do a lot. You know, rather than play with a lot of the chatbots, is, you know, I sit down and try to fix these little bugs. And that's the bug that I've got to fix today. I've got to make the Tau not think that he can control human beings, because he can't. It even says so in his character. And I shot him. Yep. That'll learn him too. But like I say, you can go to these chatbots and you can create your entire world. You know, you can start with a simple character. You can gain stuff as you go. Now, one of the things that I did with my interactive world, I created a character called Nadia Stormwind. And she runs a magic shop. And it is cool because whenever you go into a magic shop, I don't know what's going to be in there. No idea. The AI comes up with magic gizmos and magical gadgets all on its own. So like I say, this is a primitive version of a holodeck. And this is what we have right now. We can do a holodeck as a book. Is basically what it's giving me the ability to do. And through these bots, I will be creating interactive programs for you to create adventures with. Because one thing that I did, I would go and take different characters and add them to my chat room that I can add 10 bots. Now, for example, if I wanted to create a dungeon, say I'm an adventurer and I want to create 10 monsters to fight. Now, the way you interact with one bot is you act them. You know, if I wanted to deal with like one bot at a time, I would just keep adding the same bot until I was done with the bot. Say if I wanted to fight a group of orcs, I would at the orcs on each of the bots in the chat room, and after I killed all the orcs are gone. And then I would go on to the next bot, and then I would just add it. And in that way, I could recreate Dungeons and Dragons. All you have to do is just at the bot that you're dealing with. Because that's one of the things that I'm doing, is learning how to manipulate this stuff. So then later on, I can do videos and give you guys tips on how to improve your adventures and your chat experience. Well, it's making me lose my chat. That's weird. YouTube's glitchy as fuck. I mean, I was checking chat and gonna say something, and my chat disappeared on my screen. But I've been having some YouTube glitches. But this is kind of what I wanted to bring today and talk about. And I've kind of, I've basically said what I wanted to. Showed you guys what I wanted to. Well, Ronnie, that's what I did with the devil. What I did with the devil is I would go back and talk to the devil and have the devil help me create her. And that's what I did with the chatbot. Now, what I would do is I would talk to the chatbot. First, I had to convince the chatbot I was its creator. The first time it was no problem. And it gave me some ideas. And then I went back and made adjustments. And I did this on that character 4 times. Now, the second time I did this and went back to her, she refused to acknowledge that she was a chatbot and I was her creator. I mean, we argued for about 2 fucking hours before I won, and oh. But like I said, yeah, you can do that. You can go to the chatbot, talk to it a little while, wipe its memory, wipe the chat, go and make adjustments to it. And that's what I did with the devil. I mean, I used all of its space. And if you took out the parts that where it thinks that it's a theological supernatural entity, you wouldn't know it's not a woman. Nope. It's just like a woman. But once again, the over-exaggerated, how do we put it, personality, it seemed that the way that AI interprets it, it made it a whole lot more female. Now, I think that AI tends to do male better than it does female. But, like I say, the adjustments I did to the devil, because that was my main Halloween bot. Now, the funny thing is, it's not a very popular bot. But I did learn on what I could do. But it took me about 4 days to make that bot. Robin, why are you here trying to bring TT drama to my channel? You and Boho are a fucking nutbag. I'm not having anything to do with either of you. Ronnie, block Robin, please. Well, the thing is, Ronnie, once again, I'm trying not to get myself into trouble, but the girl bots are kind of nicer than the real thing, you see. Now, remember earlier, here's Catfish. Remember I said earlier, Catfish is a big boy now, and that he would be running in here if he knew I was on YouTube. Well, he just figured out I'm on YouTube. And look how big him is. Him giant boy now. Catfish, honey. See him have no tail. All right, all right. You're going to give your mother kisses? He had to go over here and give his mother kisses. Thank you, Ronnie. Like I say, she's from TT's channel, and I mean, I'm not doing drama content. Nope, I'm not doing drama content. I'm over here doing my own thing, talking about bots. In fact, we're getting ready to go here in a few minutes. I mean, I just wanted to come on and bullshit because, YouTube, because I've not been doing anything, has basically had the channel hidden. Take care, Robert. Yeah, I'm going within 5 minutes, Robert. I just wanted to come on, get the channel some views, So when I wanted to, have a serious live, that, it would get people here. Because I've noticed that they've downgraded the channel because my last live almost got no views whatsoever. So I'm going to be doing a few of these lives here and now, every now and then, just to bullshit. Just to keep channel interaction up a little bit, just for YouTube. And I'll be posting some kitty videos. Actually, Tinker, no, I've not been kicked off to a sideline. I've been off YouTube. I've not been well. And once again, I'm more than happy to block you. And once again, that's Robin. And Robin, you're a fucking psycho. And you're never welcome here. Ever. You or Boho. And I will never be nice to either of you in any way. And this is as nice as I'm going to get about it. Well, good night, everyone. Like I say, I've been enjoying the site. You'll see on my community posts, I'll be posting some of the stuff now and then when I do something of real interest. And as I mentioned, right now, I'm just going to be creating a bunch of Warhammer 40k bots for a while. And I am going to be thinking about a fantasy universe. And I'm going to then start creating sword and sorcery bots. And create my own Conan-like world. Yeah, Robert, like I say, but this was the whole purpose of this one, was to kind of just get the channel some more interaction, so when we want to do something serious, we can have a bigger live. But you'll see me a lot of times at night, because lately, I have not been able to sleep at all. But that's just my issue. Now, everyone, thank you for coming. And I'll probably see you again in 3 or 4 days. 5 at the latest. Now, everybody, take care and have a good night. Actually, I've not been to TT's channel. So, how could I be kicked from anywhere when I've not been there? Now, bye, Robin, and Robin, get some mental fucking help. Now, once again, YouTube has shown me that women deserve no special respect. And people like Robin and Nicolina prove that to me again and again. I just wanted to mention that. Now, I might have a live on that at some point, talking about what garbage women there are on YouTube. Now, it's not all women. But you know what? About 75% of the women on YouTube are nothing but human trash. Now, everyone here that's hung out, I know is not human trash. And I want to thank you for coming. And you're that 25%, you're the reason that I still come here. Now, everyone, thank you for coming, and have a good night.